I boot up Pokemon HeartGold and head over to get my first Pokemon. I decide to go with Cyndaquil, mainly because I think it'll make the early game the easiest out of the three, and also because it's my personal favourite. I nickname them Fuji. They have a serious nature, meaning neutral stat gains. I then run some errands for Professor Elm, getting my Pokedex in the process, and a mystery egg. I wonder what it'll hatch into, but we can't actually hatch it until after the first gym. So let's go do that. But on the way I get stopped by my rival, who I beat up before moving on to Bellsprout Tower, during which Fuji evolves. On to Faulkner. Unfortunately Fuji is a little over-leveled, but it was hard to avoid with only one Pokemon. On to the fight. Faulkner leads Pidgey, which Fuji has no problem taking out. Then he sends out Pidgeot. Fuji had a little difficulty due to a sand attack, but weirdly Pidgey didn't use Roost once, and ultimately is no match for our Volcano in the making, earning us the Zephyr badge. With that we move on to Azalea Town, but before that we pick up the egg from Elm's assistant. I decide to hatch the egg before the next gym to both spread out the XP and get leveling them out of the way early. Surprisingly, the egg hatches into Togepi. I name them Scrambled. They have a bashful nature, meaning neutral stat gains. Togepi doesn't have very good stats, and neither does its evolution, but it fills a spot on the team. I switch train Scrambled all the way to Azalea Town and through the Slowpoke well. Whilst in Azalea Town, I accidentally get into a fight with my rival. He leads Ghastly and I lead Scrambled, who is able to take it out no problem, but doesn't fare so well against the Croconaw. Luckily, Fuji took it and the Zubat out. Next is Bugsy. Bugsy leads Scyther and I lead Fuji, who sweeps through all of Bugsy's Pokemon with ease, getting us the Hive badge. I make my way up to Goldenrod City to get our new teammate, a Spearow who I borrow from this kind man. Our newest teammate Kenya has a hasty nature, meaning less defense and more speed. An amazing nature for Spearow. Now it's time to show you just how easy this challenge gets. I go over to the game corner and play some Voltorb Flip. By playing Voltorb Flip you can earn coins. These coins can be used to buy Pokemon in the game corner. So after 2 hours or so of Voltorb Flip, I got enough coins to buy all 3 Pokemon available. An Abra I call Pen, a Snake, and a Dratini I named Typhoon. Now I'm going to attempt Whitney's gym. And whilst fighting some of the trainers in the gym, Pen evolved. On to the gym battle. Whitney opens with Clefairy and I with Typhoon, who easily takes it out. Then it's Whitney's Miltank, who sweeps through most of my team, until Scrambled puts it to sleep, and due to fantastic sleep luck, Miltank stayed asleep long enough for me to switch to Fuji and take it out, earning us the Plain badge. I make my way around to the next city and up the burnt tower to fight my rival. He leads with Ghastly and I with Pen, who easily takes care of both Ghastly and Zubat. I switch to Typhoon to paralyze Croconaw before sending out Snake to finish it off. Fuji then takes out our rival's Magnetite, winning us the fight. On to the multi-gym fight, but along the way, Scrambled evolves. Morty leads with Ghastly and I lead with Pen, who effortlessly takes it out along with one of Morty's Haunters. But Pen falls to the Gengar, as does Snake, but Scrambled manages to take it out. Last is another Haunter, which Kenya takes out, causing both Kenya to evolve and us to win the Fog Badge. I make my way through Olivine City and get to Cyanwood City, where both the next gym is and where we get our next Pokeball-less Pokemon. Before we get there, Snake evolves into a Cobra. I pick up our new teammate Lion, the Shuckle, who has a relaxed nature, meaning even more defense and even less speed. Shuckle is an odd Pokemon. It has ridiculous ridiculously good defense and special defense, but all of its other stats are absolutely awful. Chuck leads Primate, and I lead Kenya, who manages to get off a strong aerial ace, but faints before they can finish off the Primate. So I switch to Pen, who finishes off the Primate, and despite the sizable level disadvantage, also takes out the Poliwrath with no issues, getting us the Storm Badge, and the Fly HM. Now we can fly back to Goldenrod City to pick up another new team member, an Eevee we get from Bill. I was starting to run low on ideas for nicknames, so I just call them has a gentle nature, meaning more special defense and less defense. Also has the potential to be an incredibly strong Pokemon. So I add them to the team and drop Lion off at the PC before heading back to Olivine City to challenge the gym leader. But it's an absolute sweep. Turns out having more than half of your team being 10 levels lower than the gym leader's ace can cause some problems. So, time to grind. I've decided to get my whole team to level 30, which is a pain to do at this point in the game, but I'd have to do it at some point. During the grind, Typhoon evolves. Now, time to try again. Jasmine leads Magnemite, so I lead Fuji, who is able to take it out with no problem. But Jasmine's Steelix puts up more of a fight and takes out Fuji, so I switch to Typhoon, who finishes off the Steelix and the other Magnemite, earning us the Mineral Badge. I then make my way through Mount Mortar to Mahogany Town to fight the 7th gym, and also to do some story stuff, but that's not important. On to something that is, but before that, Fuji evolves. Price opens with Seal and I open with Pen, who has no trouble taking it out along with the Dugong. I then switch to Typhoon for the Piloswine, but they don't fare so well, so Cobra comes in to finish the fight, winning us the Glacier Badge. I do have to do some more story related activities before I can move on to the next gym, and whilst I'm doing this, evolves into Umbreon. Turns out that partway through this Team Rocket stuff, we have a rival fight. He leads Golbat and I lead but I switch to Fuji to take out our rivals Golbat, Magnemite and Sneasel. Cobra takes out the Feraligatr and finishes off the fight by taking out Sneasel. Now, on to the 8th and final gym. Claire absolutely wipes the floor with us. We barely managed to make it to a Kingdra before it one-shot both Typhoon and Fuji. But I think all it will take is a couple more levels and we should be good. Second attempt, and it somehow goes even worse. Claire sent out her Kingdra early and it swept through our 4 remaining Pokemon. I'm gonna try a couple more times, and if that doesn't work, I might resort to grinding again. Turns out one more attempt was all I needed. Thanks to a lucky critical hit that Cobra got on Gyarados on the same turn that it fainted, I got to send out Pen and get off 2 charge beams, raising their special attack by 2 stages, so they could just about one-shot both Dragonets and just manage to take out Kingdra. That was some amazing luck. But it hasn't won us the badge, as Claire is a sore loser, so we have to go through the Dragon's Den to prove myself. Anyway, we've got the Rising Star badge now, so we can go fight a giant chicken! So now we can face the Elite Four after a rival fight, that is. Our rival opens with Sneasel, which Kenya takes out along with the Feraligatr and Golbat. Fuji takes out the Magneton, and finishes off the fight by taking out both Kadabra and Haunter. Now, we can face the Elite Four. We are not ready for the Elite Four. Most of our team is on par with the members, but we just get whittled down and damn near all of the Elite Four's aces are higher level than any of our Pokemon. So now comes the most painful grind in this game. I need to get my whole team to level 50 to be on par with Lance's Dragonite to even stand a chance against the Elite Four. And to say this grind was painful would be an understatement, since it took 6 straight hours of grinding. I was able to grind on some members of the Elite Four to speed the process up, but it was still long and grueling. I decided to get the Ice Beam TM to better deal with Lance's dragons, so I sat down for a casual 5 hours to play Voltorb Flip. It was painful. Now on to the Elite Four. Will goes well. Swept through most of his team, but Pen and Fuji did have to come in to deal with a couple of Pokemon. On to the next member. Koga is up next, but his team is a sweep with Pen and Fuji. Even in my first attempt, he was easy, so this wasn't much of a surprise. Moving on. Bruno is also a sweep with Pen and Typhoon. Not really much to talk about here, so on to Karen, the only member of the Elite Four I haven't beaten in practice runs. Karen is hard to beat. I start with Kenya to try and whittle down her Umbreon. I know once I get past that, the rest of her team should be fairly easy, but Cobra ends up finishing off her Umbreon, and Fuji and Cobra got through her remaining Pokemon. That was difficult. Now, onto the dreaded champion battle. The fight against Lance was painful. Between his 3 Dragonites and significantly higher static Pokemon, we barely stood a chance. I led Pen to one-shot the Gyarados, and Pen doesn't. Well, since I know damn well Pen can't take a hit from that monster, I've just lost one of the heaviest hitters. Cobra finishes off the Gyarados and Lance sends out a Dragonite. I switch to Typhoon to one-shot it with Ice Beam, and it doesn't. Now I know for sure I've lost. Typhoon falls to Dragonite. I manage to take it out, but it's too little too late. Aerodactyl gets sent out and wipes the rest of my team. I need to grind even more. I'm going to aim to get just Typhoon and Pen to level 55 so that Pen can hopefully actually one-shot the Gyarados, and so that Typhoon can evolve, so that it can actually one-shot the Dragonites. Now that we've fully evolved Typhoon, we should be able to take out Lance. The rest of the Elite Four go about the same, if not easier, so I'm just gonna skip past them and go straight back to Lance. Lance opens with Gyarados and I open with Pen, who actually one-shots Lance's Gyarados. Oh wait, no they don't. Luckily though, Pen just about hangs on and takes out the Gyarados on the next turn. I keep out Pen for Aerodactyl so they can one-shot it with a Psychic. Charizard is out next, but Pen can't quite take it out, so has to come in to finish it off. Next is all 3 of Lance's Dragonites, back to back. So naturally, I decide to have an honor battle and send out my Dragonite, Typhoon, who just about takes out the first one with an Ice Beam, and the next one, and the final Dragonite, winning us the fight and making us champion of the Johto region. That was a fun challenge. Next time I do one of these, I think I'll play through a Pokemon game with less Pokeball-less Pokemon, and probably also a more modern one. I'm thinking either Pokemon Sun or Pokemon Shield. Haven't quite yet decided though. Playing through Pokemon HeartGold really made me realize just how many free Pokemon there are in this game. I didn't even get all of them. I missed a Tyrogue, I can get a Mount Mortar, the 3 eggs you can get in Violet City, and a tentacle in Cyanwood City if you play your cards right. But yeah, that's it. Well, maybe I'll come back to this since in this game there's a whole nother region to get through and a rematch with the Elite Four. But I'll probably do that at a later date, if I ever do it at all. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you in 2 weeks' time where I'll be playing Jedi Fallen Order on the max difficulty. Or don't. Or don't tune in to that. Or don't come back. I am pre-recorded after all. I can't really force you to do anything. Or can I?